They'll be calling you a radical, so I'm back here on the most corrupt university in the United States, in the world, bar none. So wait till you get this, and then we'll talk about that fuckhead sellout. Anybody Black Lives Matter, anybody that's a fuck, the social, which 99% of them are actually the socially repressed. It's not just black, white, brown, old, young, but it is. It's metaphorical, so... The most corrupt, now this is the academia fraud of all time, so the fraud of all time. Right here where I'm standing is owned by the public domain, by the state taxpayer. The Board of Regents sold it, said they're going to build a hotel here. Just like they sold our radio signal. I did the play-by-play there, Damian Lillard. So LeBron James is trying to block Black Lives Matter. That's just an argument. Why? Because he's bling bling. If you support LeBron James, that's all we hear all day, every day. All day in Ogden. Noise pollution all day. F-35 loot job from hell, the biggest sham in America. That's where all your money and resources go. Infrastructure? Fuck. Social programs? Fuck. That's where all the money's at. The military industrialized fucking grotesque pigs. Now let's talk about it. This is important. So, Weber State's open, right? Sure they are. Just give us your money. These are examples. So nothing's open. So it's a public library, the famous Stewart Library, which is infamous. Edward Abbey did his work. E.B. Cooper fucking did his fucking work. Melvin Dumar, fucking, Howard Hughes. I won't stop there. All in that library. That library is so infamous. Probably the most. Kevin Blanch, all his work in there. Fama K. Brody, that was the old one. But this one, right here, it's closed. Oh no, we're open. You got to make an appointment. So I'm at the Weber County Library, which is probably the best run public library, which I went to the grand opening in '67. The most beautiful building you ever seen, the best run public library. And if you don't think I know, I got a stack of library cards this deep in. I work that coast. I'm in so many public libraries. It's been open the whole time. So Weber State is so derelict, and I could prove this. So I was a professor there, as you know. I was an adjunct. #1 school business in the United States. Look it up. For years. Until Warren Buffett and Bill Childs rolling into town, R.C. Willey's, and turned it into Governor Herbert's freaking economic development supply chain. Freaking, they rank dead last. The Chinese professor there says, don't go see the international headline. They make the internet most racist university on both sides in the country, bar none. The most corrupt university, bar none. So the library's closed. So I'm at the Weber County Library this morning doing my work. Mrs. Wainsgard she's the greatest because she cares about it. These lazy derelicts here, they just want your money. You know how much these professors and since the school business crashed, Dr. Cooley died, both Davis boys are dead, the Wattis curse, Damien, I don't know if Damian Lillard understands. This is the house of the nuclear industry. This is the university, the floor construction, GE, the nuclear cartel, the most dirty, rotten, corrupt, this is who built it on the sacred, hallowed ground. Why do you think the F-35's here? I will quote James Brownie. We brought Hillfire Airbase to bolster the economy of Northern, because everybody here makes a living off other people's taxes. You want to talk welfare queens? They don't work. So I'm at the library this morning, and here comes the soccer team. All they got their uniforms on and everything. The women's soccer team, who did win a national championship here. I says, what are you guys doing here? Trying to get access to a public. I says, Weber State's is closed, huh? Oh, it's a disgrace. It's crazy. So then I go over to Smith's to get my juice. We'll flip the juice, which has gone to shit. Kroger's has bought out and ruined it. Everything's co-opted around here. This place is so corrupt. Weber County's so fucking corrupt. It's unbelievable. Now they get a grant, and I know Bond, the treasurer, I'll be watching. $100 million for NGOs to divide it. Watch that fucking loot job. Everything around here, everybody's got their fingers in the fucking welfare dime. And they're free market guys. So I ran into a kid that I know. Well, I don't know. He knows me. From Spain. He says, Kevin, it's a store. I says, you Weber Sadler? Because he had the black shorts on, the gray shirt. I says, you got to be on the golf team, huh? Or tennis. Golf, he says, I says, oh, you local guy? No, I'm from Spain. Oh, no wonder you know me. He says, I got to tell you, this is a disgrace what's going on here. He says, I says, you in class? Yeah. I says, how many actual person-to-person classes do you have? He says, I have one. He says, I'll tell you, and he says, this is why I want to talk to you. He says, you used to teach, you know, communications, right? Public communications. I used to teach the public speaking class. Horizontal fuck versus vertical fuck. I used to teach it, you know, literal versus figurative. Passion versus fucking hyperbole. He says, the public speaking class is online. I says, oh my God, what a perfect oxymoron. So the library's closed, everything's closed, but we're open, give us your fucking money. What a fucking sham to go to the worst fucking, I mean, their test scores are, the historic nursing school. Now, I'm not talking about that. There's always, you know, an exception, and the exception is the nursing school. They're the greatest. But the whole fact that you have to have a college degree to be a nurse is a fucking joke. You know, it should be practitioners. It should be an apprentice program. Oh, they got rid of the fucking apprentice and everything. You know, just import illegal labor from the South and let car dealers exploit them. You know, that's the fucking craftsman. First, so let's flip the can. So LeBron James is trying to block Black Lives Matter. You know, it's awful easy for those NBA fucking players in their glass fucking bubble houses to sit there and they're, I mean, you know how rich those fucking guys all are? And it's not their fault. I mean, I know Donovan Mitchell fucking personally. I keep having fucking hope for him because I think he believes it, you know. We'll see. That money, those golden handcuffs, and their agents. I've talked to lots of people around there. Our agents tell us we can't. Well, does that mean, you know, fuck. Tell them to fuck off. Show some balls. So, it's easy. Black Lives Matter is completely co-op, but I support it. So does when Ammon Bundy supports it. When, you know, and I want to say this to these right-wing radicals that show up at fucking rallies and think they're intimidating people. You know, I'm racist, no training, no nothing, pathetic as hell. Guess what? And if you don't think I know, I'm the guy that put Black Lives Matter together in its inception. You're looking at him. Which I get no credit, which is irony. Another one was killed in the Weber County jail yesterday. That's what they do here. They just beat him and kill him in jail. Ask Matthew Stewart, who the stadium's named after, his family. Ask Danielle Willard, the most heinous murder by cop in it. That's how Black Lives Matter was. Remember or the 2nd of November on the murder of Daniel Willard by Kevin Blanche. Yep. You can't wrap your mind around that. But it was probably a fucking white guy in Utah hooked up with Anonymous who started Black Lives Matter, which is, you know, I love these women say they hashtagged it. What a fucking bunch of shit. What a lie that is. So, go get your hair extensions from an executed Chinese slave. Yay. And get you a sign made, or get you a shirt. Order you a shirt or an NBA LeBron King James jersey made by Chinese children fucking slaves in a bunker in East Bangladesh in China. I used to stand in fucking Times Square with the Tiananmen Square, the real ones. Look it up. Drink fucking beet juice, and I'd say, act like it was blood, and people would come over with their new garment. Hey, where'd you get that? Can we run our hotline by it? Brand new. Didn't matter if it was the highest designer to the, you know, Walmart fucking thing. What are those specks in it? It's blood. Brand new garments have blood in it. They're children fucking slaves. They're slave camps. So the NBA, Adam Silver, Slither, Obama, Trump, they're pieces of shit. Fuck Obama, fuck Trump, fuck Biden. I love all you people that fucking, you know, red, blue, fucking black, white, and, you know, as Trump tries to create the manufactured race war. The Obama-Trump manufactured, I'm not fucking playing. Black Lives Matter was probably started by, well, I think it's an argument, started by a white guy in Utah. Why do you think the NSA is so afraid of me and they've gone after me so hardcore? You know? Again, I want to tell you guys in the street, guess what? And you don't think I know? The other side, they pack heat too. They're just a little more quiet. They got guns too. Oh, I know. I mean, so let's flip the can. come to university, give us your money, but we're not really open because we make a living off. I don't make it. And by the way, if this activism goes on, I got to have funding. You can all flee, and you know, my funding's so lean, and so you know, it's just a fact of life. And if I can't get funding, I'm gonna have to do something. I mean, I guess it'll end. You know, my work's over. But you know, as far as I don't know how that possibly works, but I gotta have fucking funding. $100,000 in 6 fucking years. Do the math. I mean, think about the work I do. Fucking these NBA fucking players make that a fucking hour. King fucking James. What a fucking joke. So let's flip the can. And it really doesn't matter who's watching. I mean, it matters who's watching. Excuse me. It's not how many are watching. It's who's watching. Gotta go with that left, Jerry. He signed a contract in Europe. I had a contract with Jerry Conner, the best player ever played here. I had a talk with him. I says, well, why not just go to Europe? Fuck the NBA. The quality of life's higher and they make plenty of money. I see he signed a contract in Europe. He'll be a superstar over there. He's all that then some. He's the best player ever played here while he's here. Sorry, Damien, but that's just a fact. But, of course, Lillard, what he's done, well, the Wallace Curse got him again. He's hurt again. So, of course, maybe the Jazz can win a fucking title. If both the Clippers and the Lakers, the bling-bling fuckers, step out, maybe they can finally get their title. Stockton's kids all play in Europe. Stockton, by the way, I watched him play here, prick. I watched Jimmy Valvano cut down the nets here. I watched Jason Kidd's last game here. I watched the Admiral fucking David Robinson fucking play here. I go on and on and on and on and on and on. And I worked for Coach Bagelin. You know, Ruben had that best team they ever had, but when he missed the front end to beat Iverson to go to Sweet 16. You know, I'm friends with Sakowicz when he missed the front end. His new story now is, well, you know, Natalie Wood was sitting in there. Okay. You know, so I've been involved with this program all these years. By the way, Louis Sojourner, one of the most famous players. That's who named Dr. J, Dr. J. Italy, Kobe, Italy. With the left. Oh, nice. Stand tuning. I need funding if my activism goes on. It's just a fact of life. I live like I'm so fucking poor. What I drive. Oh, God, yeah, that blowout tire, I mean, stand tuned.